It's a great pleasure to be associated with the London Tech Week. Uh, so, as Eric mentioned, actually, I am a real surfer, but I'm a pro surfer as well. So I surf in the intersection of business, creativity, and technology. So as you know, actually, surfing is a great metaphor for running a business. Why? Because it's a such complex sport. I don't know if you have surfers in the audience. No? Okay. So it's very, believe me, it's very complex sport. Uh, so if you ask a surfer, the surfer will tell you that actually each wave is different. What does it mean? It means that actually their playground is constantly changing. And this is very similar to the business, yeah? Right? Right. So, if the surfer knows how to surf well, he or she can surf any kind of wave, regardless of weather conditions or even actually dangers like corals, like reef sharks. So, I'm here to talk about a blockchain. And you can guess that the blockchain technology is the new wave for businesses. Represents actually new S-curve. So I don't know if you're familiar with S-curve. So the guy here, Roger Foster, actually firstly actually figured out about S-curve. So what is very interesting here, so the Roger Foster actually pointed out in his book Attacker's Advantage, that actually he figured out what is the advantage of the company. And he said that the advantage of the company is its ability to recognize the limits of technology and to identify new technology with higher limits and promises to actually improve their products or services. And as we agree here, so the blockchain is that technology. So here, what I would like to show you where the blockchain is on Gartner hype cycle. So as you see, we are still going through the throw of disillusionment, how Gardner said. But what I would like to say, actually, we are now surfing between early adopters and early majority. I say that the most important thing will be to actually bridge this gap, how we say, across a chasm between early adopters and pragmatic adopters. Very recently, actually, I read a very good article, actually, from Deloitte. So Deloitte actually did 2019 blockchain research, and they found out actually that 40% of enterprises are now willing to spend $5 million in a blockchain space, which is great news for us as the first adopters. And as I said, so that is going to help us in the first way to bridge this gap and towards actually full adoption. Yeah. So I don't know if you recognize this guy. He's a very good surfer. Who recognizes this guy? Jeff Bezos. So he served, Jeff Bezos actually served very well a first wave, late 90s, beginning of 2000, dot-com boom. And now he's actually going to surf, obviously, ready to surf the new wave. So I'm just quickly actually going to tell you what are the advantages of early adopters to blockchain. So I would say the number one is to drive the change, the transformation of their industry, to bring new legislation, to bring new standards. So number two, to actually figure out before the competition how they're going to actually integrate this technology with IT. And number three, actually to figure out actually how to bring their business to the next level, to discover new markets using blockchain. So what I would like to say here quickly, that now actually digital transformation is maturing, and now we are focusing on application of these emerging technologies. I was in Paris months ago, and I had a chance to listen to IBM's Ginny Rometty, and Ginny said that now the businesses should enter chapter 2 of digital transformation, which means actually to scale digital and AI. So we are ready for that. But the foundation of AI is the data. So this is what I'm showing here, why actually the blockchain for digital transformation. Because the blockchain, as you see here, provides a means to actually to manage the data. The cloud actually provides a means actually to scale it indefinitely, and APIs actually enables actually fluidity between different software or different applications. Yeah. So this is why actually we believe that blockchain will make a big wave for digital transformation. But again, so what are the challenges? So here, so as you know, so the big data is a big challenge. It has three I would say the issues, which are data quality, accessibility, and security. So we need to make sure that we have actually data quality, so that actually the data is structured. So we need to make sure that we have accessibility, data accessibility, which means that we actually we crush the silos, so that we can actually access the data, and actually obviously data security. So again, blending the data blockchain with the data, big data, will actually enable companies to address those challenges. I read recently that, accordingly to actually Forrester, that just 10% increase in data accessibility enables actually more than 65 million additional revenue in average Fortune 1000 company. So this is huge. So as you see, why actually I'm saying blockchain is the big wave. So, as a surfer, actually, I always want to actually catch a wave on the peak. So I want to be ready to catch a wave on the peak. So as you know, so if you take a wave far away from the peak, you don't have a lot of fun. So this is why I'm saying actually we are now actually in the phase where we are going to get ready for the next big wave. So obviously what we need to do, we need to choose a right board. So you can choose private blockchain. So I'm actually defining that as enterprise grade blockchains for the business, or you can do hybrid, or you can do public. But why I'm saying actually enterprise-grade blockchain? Because enterprise blockchain comes with with better scalability. So there is a mechanism how to actually create a better scalability, uh, confidentiality, and security. So what else actually we have in those enterprise-grade blockchains? We actually adjust actually blockchain to address those challenges, those requirements from the business. And the biggest requirements is actually the high level of security and robustness of the software. So this is extremely important, and this is why we are actually talking about enterprise grade. And the other thing is, as you know, transaction finality. We need to make sure that actually the transaction is final. The other very important thing is actually how we connect, integrate blockchain, enterprise blockchain with our ERP system. So what I'm showing you here, the one actually very nice, very simple, scalable, and secure stack of enterprise blockchain. So as you know, so you see, so I'm simplifying here. So we got data layer, integration layer, enterprise blockchain, API layer, and after that on top you have business application layer. So what I'm showing here actually, the modularity of enterprise-grade blockchain, which means that actually you have adapter for language, so that in that case you can use the DAML language, or you can use Golang, or you can use Java, or as well with consensus, you can choose what kind of consensus do you want actually to apply. If you trust all users, you can actually have a much more scalable. So here, what I'm showing you actually the very interesting digital strategy framework from Accenture. So I just modified slightly for the blockchain. So as you know, so digital transformation is about three things. So number one, to increase operational efficiency. Number two, to discover, to actually redesign client experiences. And number three, actually to discover new markets. So here you see the very nice diagram that shows you actually how the company can go from partial digitalization to full digitalization. So here, actually, a lot of people actually asking me, hey, but Dean, but what is the real value of the blockchain, simplified? So as I said, actually, the real value of the blockchain is not only actually to transform the business processes and increase efficiency, but to transform business to the digital business. But, always but this requires actually businesses to change their way of thinking, how they think about value creation, and how they think about collaboration. So what I'm showing here, actually, it's a very good example, actually. So how to innovate your business model, you know that very well. You have three building blocks: value proposition, value creation, and value capture. So in order to actually create new business model, you manipulate two blocks. And after that, you create a new business model. But now, actually, very recently, when we introduced a platform business model, so now we introduced here the value network, which underpins all these three blocks. So now, actually, we've got a very interesting model to look at from a blockchain perspective. And as I said, the blockchain is a new business model. But we, as a business people, we need to change the way of thinking, how we think about value creation. So here is I like this very much. Actually, this is McKinsey's diagram, impact versus feasibility. So it's a very good diagram actually to position your use cases and to assess the value of the blockchain. So here you see the feasibility, which is asset digitalization, technology, standard, and ecosystem. So those four bullet points actually needs to be, I would say, addressed in order for blockchain to scale, blockchain technology. So assets, we need assets actually to digitalize. We need we need ID on the blockchain. We need actually standards, and we need to build the ecosystem. So here, what I'm showing you some examples. Yeah. So I think the two prevalent use cases for blockchain in financials are trade finance and cross-border payments. So in the trade finance, I don't know. So if that is right for you, but we have actually three predominant actually blockchain business networks. One is Marco Polo, led by Trade Ajax and built on Corda. The other is WeTrade, very interesting. So they are live from last year. It's on IBM cloud, designed on Hyperledger. The other one is Comgo, designed on Quorum. And second is cross-border payments. I don't know if you're familiar. Actually, this is a big use case, and I think we've got two good examples here that are in MVP stage. So when I show all of this, I would like to say that blockchain is still a work in progress. So the problem with challenge actually here is the ecosystem. So behind all of this, actually, platforms, DLT platforms, we have 15, 20 companies, but we need a lot. Actually, we need to build the real ecosystem. So the challenges actually of these MVPs or these platforms are, as I mentioned earlier, the ecosystem and regulations. So here, I would like actually to finish with one use case from financials. So how I call this, it's moonshot, which intends to accelerate financial industry transformation. So it's a great use case from Swiss SIX, Swiss Stock Exchange. So they are working with Corda to actually digitalize complete market infrastructure. When I said that, actually, that they would like to integrate fully integrate trade, settlements, and custody, to actually to address the market infrastructure for digital assets, native digital assets. Their goal is to release MVP by the end of the year. So what I would like to I'd like to finish with this slide actually. So be smart, get to know your wave first to catch, and after that catch it.